Hello everyone, welcome to Task IS. Today we will continue archaeological anthropology. Till now we have covered Chalcolithic, Copper, Bronze Age. Today we will cover Iron Age. Important information is that all the PDF of all ethics as well as anthropology lectures are available in our Telegram channel. Link of that channel is given in description of video, so you can enjoy those PDFs as well. Now Iron Age. So lastly we have studied that firstly there was Stone Age, Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. After that's beginning of Metal Age. In Metal Age firstly there was origin of Copper Age, and after that there is beginning of Iron Age. So iron development or its origin has led to a new era in human history because, as we have discussed in last class also, copper was very dearer and it was limited to some specific group, but as iron was more cheaper, it was more available, so it led to more inclusive development in the beginning. Mark this statement: in the beginning, due to its nature, iron was more inclusive and its availability was more in India as well as outside. In India, especially Chota Nagpur region is very rich in iron resources, and as happened with copper or bronze, any other metal, it was exploration with brain development as well as hit and trial method that led to development of iron as well. So it is noted that iron technology must have played important role in clearance of forest and spread of agriculture settlements, because iron as a metal it have more benefits as compared to copper. It have more strength, it is more durable, and it can resist higher temperature as well as lower temperatures as compared to copper. So it led to second phase of urbanization, because with iron now there is more efficiency in clearing of forest, and as forests were cleared and with more exploration, with more knowledge, human being starts to understand how from seed plants grows. So they use this knowledge combined with this opportunity of iron metal and led to development of agriculture. So that agriculture, then again surplus of agriculture, where some people have option for specialization in occupation, so that led to more diverse occupational opportunities, and this is characteristics of urbanization. So as we have seen in urban areas in today also, there are more scope of different occupations, so that characteristics denote second phase of urbanization, and first phase of urbanization is observed in Harappan civilization. Now, iron smelting technology marked the end of the Stone Age, while copper, being scarce, must have been available to a few people only. The Iron Age in the Indian subcontinent, this has succeeded later Harappan culture, because late Harappan culture was Chalcolithic, and we have studied Chalcolithic, and Iron Age is successor of Chalcolithic period. Main division of Iron Age in India are painted graveware culture 1100 to 350 BC, and northern black polished ware culture, that is 700 to 200 BC. And also remember that if you have some doubts like why this phase is overlapping with Chalcolithic period, or why there are some cases when Middle Paleolithic have shown some features like domestication or pottery making. So remember that India is very diverse. There are different phases of cultural variations at different places. So from that you can remember. And also when you are studying different cultural phases, remember this onion diagram. This was given by famous archaeologist, I don't remember his name currently. So once he has mentioned that if you are studying a culture A and culture B, so you can consider that this is Neolithic phase, this is Mesolithic phase. But remember this circle or middle part showing that majority of sites have features of Mesolithic, but there is a presence of Neolithic as well as continuity of Paleolithic as well. When you will reach at Neolithic stage, there this is central part which shows majority of sites have features of Neolithic, but there are some sites which showing features of Mesolithic as well. So this shows that there are variations, but according to dominant characteristics we define any cultural period as particular period, for example Chalcolithic or Neolithic, so on. Now Tripathi have considered these Iron Age cultures in different zones of Northwest Ganga Valley Peninsular India as independent and divergent cultural traditions. So it shows that it is not homogeneous, and this is understood by common sense as well, because India is so much diverse and it is a large country, and at that time it is not possible that Northwest or Kashmir region have similar culture as found in southern India. So it shows that this statement shows that there are different independent cultural development. Iron technology seems to have made its first appearance almost simultaneously in different parts of subcontinent between 1000 to 800 BC. So it shows its chronology. In Gandhara region, painted grey ware in the upper Ganga region, black and red ware in middle and lower Ganga plains, megalithic cultures in Vidarbha and peninsular India. So you have to draw map, you have to mark important sites, and when you are mentioning important sites, for example Koldi Hawa in Uttar Pradesh or in Chirand in Bihar, then you have to dot that area and also mark pottery, for example painted grey ware in upper Ganga plain and then black and red ware in lower Ganga plain. So you have to show point form for sites, particular sites, and this dotted form for a particular area where some kind of other features like pottery making can be shown. Now some unique points from different sites, for example Kashmir or Northwest region, here iron objects have been unearthed from the megalithic context of Gufkaral in Kashmir. It shows that megalithic culture is also present in Kashmir, because students generally felt that megalithic culture is associated only with South India. And what is megalithic, we will discuss it later, which is also reported to have an early date of 2nd millennium BC. These remains are found above those of Neolithic period. So it shows that in Kashmir there is absence of Chalcolithic, and from Neolithic onwards there is directly Iron Age observed. This shows particularly about this site. Iron metallurgy, a well-developed tradition of pyrotechnology including copper smelting, existed in India from the Harappan sites, which may have led to accidental discovery of iron from iron-rich copper ore. It shows that how iron was discovered, because there were different ores, and with exploration men found some ores which have high content of iron when man was searching for copper metal. So this accidental discovery of iron was happened, and this led to revolution in economic, socio-cultural environment. Further, easy availability of iron ore in almost all parts of country may have accelerated its use. Besides two iron arrowheads from Ahar region. Ahar is Chalcolithic region. It shows Chalcolithic, that means bronze metal use as well as iron use, and it is dated around 1275 BC. Even though chances of mixing have been pointed by Sankalya. So H.D. Sankalia have mentioned that there are chances that these two cultures have diffused. So these points you have to mention when some questions regarding chalcolithic or iron age have asked, and then you have to write one or two points which are unique, which shows that you have clear understanding of different cultures and how these are intermixed. So then you can write these points to shows that Indian civilization and its development is unique because there are some exceptional cases as well. Now Chattopadhyay, he have referred to iron artifacts from late Chalcolithic levels at Panduri Rajar Dhibi and Mangalkot in West Bengal, and has proposed the term Ferro-Chalcolithic because here is dominance of Chalcolithic period. Chattopadhyay has observed from West Bengal. So now we are observing different points from different cultural zones. Metallurgical analysis showed that iron objects made were often of a very high quality. So it shows that higher level of specialization in metallurgy and India's achievement in metallurgy. So this shows scientific development in ancient India. And next, at Mahurjhari contain 99% iron, 0.9% carbon with trace of chromium, and this shows composition of steel. So it was qualified as steel. Similarly, a spear from Khapa was also graded as steel. So this shows that how human exploration and development has led to more progress, and now that time steel was also made. At Atranji Khera, also a furnace and a fire pit with a pair of tongs were revealed from upper phase of period 2 associated with PGW, that painted graveware pottery. From Loswana Mound in Chandolis district, also a circular clay furnace with iron slag tires were also found. So this shows that in Ganga region there is more advanced features were observed like furnace, fire pit, or Losana Mound. So you have to remember these points. In archaeology there is less concept and more of factual parts, and you have to remember them, and you can do it by revising again and again. It is important also to remember that some tribes of India like Agarias of Madhya Pradesh, they still continue to use iron technology. They are famous iron smelters, and it is considered that they have inherited this technology from their ancestors. So it shows that how tribals have contributed to mainland Indian civilization as well. This is important point, and also shows that this is a living tradition. That means past tradition which is continued even in present times. So this iron smelting by Agarias of Madhya Pradesh is an example of living tradition. The earliest iron age sites in South India are Halur in Karnataka, Adichanallur in Tamil Nadu. So, and their date is around 1000 BC. By about 13th century, and smelting was definitely known in India on a bigger scale. So it shows that how gradually this metallurgy and this iron smelting has developed on a large scale. Now Gangetic Valley, although we have noted some specific points for particular sites, you can use them as some exceptional points, some important and unique points, but now these are some broad points. Now in Gangetic Valley, the colonization of Ganga basin by iron users that we have discussed, that famously it is called the Aryans. They have moved eastward and colonized eastern area, can be taken as one of the best evidence of second urbanization. Pottery is coarser, applique bands and fingertips impressions. Terracotta figurines also found. They are more in frequency, and they include horse, camel, human figures. So horse, which is considered as absent in Indus Valley civilization, or there is no valid artifacts to prove that, but it is very well known from Gangetic Valley region. And iron is the most important feature of this phase is barley and rice cultivation in this zone, because this Gangetic Valley region is have very fertile land, enough moisture, so that's why this provide a fertile ground for cultivation. Now painted graveware culture, this we have discussed even during Chalcolithic period as well. So it shows that there are overlapping of different cultural features like painted graveware culture pottery. It is an Iron Age culture of Gangetic Plain, and its date is around 1000 BC to 600 BC. It is contemporary to and successor of black and red ware culture. So that means this is more advanced in features. It probably corresponds to later Vedic period, and it is succeeded by northern black polished ware. So from name also you can remember order. Black and red ware culture was earlier, and after that new colors like grey came, and after that more polished pottery like polished word is used. So you can remember this order of pottery, and this all is happening in Ganga region. So remember this also. So PGW was produced from well navigated clay manufactured on a fast wheel. So it shows that fast wheel, it shows that it is more advanced technology. PGW people cultivated rice and wheat and lived in wattle and daub houses. So again it is similar to hat like structure. They were the first people to have definitely used domesticated horses. So again this shows that it is iron people who have colonized Gangetic Valley. Now northern black polished ware, this is again more advanced culture in India, is a definite Iron Age culture succeeding the painted grey ware culture. It shows that it is definite Iron Age culture because painted grey ware was also observed during Chalcolithic period as well. Iron technology accelerated colonization of middle and lower Gangetic Valley by farmers around 700 BC. Now NBP period show the emergence of cities, first political entities known as Mahajanpadas in the Ganga plains in 600 BC. Because with surplus, inequalities will arise, and there is a need of any social as well as political organization to maintain that inequality. So that's why some political structures like Mahajanpadas emerged, and similarly more organized structures like kinship emerged. So that division of labor can be done very efficiently. Southern zone. Now Iron Age in South India till today is known entirely from a large variety of burials and their grave goods. So it is hinting towards megaliths. Remember that in South India, although knowledge of iron was there, but there is limited availability of fertile land. So scale of agriculture that is observed in Gangetic Valley was not similar structure observed in case of South India. And from Neolithic, Chalcolithic and later on also, Deccan culture was more pastoralist, and they are less farmers, although there are some ragi, hulgi, some millets were cultivated, but it is not at a scale of village or cities formation or surplus agriculture that we have observed in Gangetic Valley. As if we same observed in case of Northeast India, again agriculture was not that much developed because of difficult terrain, mountains, and that's why due to that environment they have adapted to shifting cultivation. Also fishing activities are more in case of Northeast India as well. So it shows that how different culture and different communities have adapted with their environment. Now we are talking about South zone, and also hinting towards megalithic culture. Since these graves are mostly megalithic in nature, the culture are traditionally known as megalithic culture. Megalithic builders appear entirely exotic in the pre-existing cultural canvas of the region, and this led many scholars to visualize a new popularization movement from the west, because these megalithic word shows that they have very large stones which are found near the burial sites. So this shows that this practice was not earlier observed in nearby areas. So that's why some scholars have argued that this megalithic culture probably came from West or even West Asia. So it shows that this feature is exogenous in nature. But again, these are some hypotheses, and more research, more excavations, their analysis is needed for any concluding remarks. Now megaliths, we will discuss it in detail here. Prehistoric megaliths or large stone constructions dating being the before the advent of written history are found in huge numbers in all parts of India, and these structures are called as megaliths. The monuments are usually found in granitic areas. We still do not know exactly who are the megalithic people were, whether they represent an immigrant group or local development. So it shows debate on exogenous or indigenous development. Since similar monuments are found in many places around the world, like Ireland, Malta, West Asia, Balochistan to Southeast Asia, it is possible that they represent a single group which spread all over the world. So it is again one theory. Among the possible groups are the celts originated from the Central Asia. So it shows that some celts or these stone-like structures have originated from Central Asia, who later became great seafarers, and due to this voyage some group from West Asia like ancient Elamites of Mesopotamia, the Central Asian Scythians who roamed all over the world, a group of early Aryan tribes, and most fanciful Atlanteans who washed off far and wide, some definite types. This paragraph shows that although there are no concluding remarks who were megaliths, but it is considered that some people from West Asia, they have knowledge of celts, and they have spreaded this knowledge by their traveling to different parts. For example, as Aryan tribes in India and Atlanteans, and who have spreaded this knowledge even to Ireland or Finland, those areas. So it shows that how this culture has spreaded from center of cultures to different areas. Now you can connect this with some school of diffusion and write this as an example. For example, diffusion, in that German school have talked about culture rise or culture centers. You can mention and link those theories here, or you can use this example in explaining diffusion. Now some different types of megalithic structures are observed, and these are as cane circle. In this, burial is engraved in the center, and then different stones are standing surrounding it. So it shows some kind of circle shape. That's why it is known as cane circle. Now next is cyst. In this is burial or dead body, and after that there are different stones. Here size of different is larger, and on that stones different bigger stones or slabs like structure like this, which will give some kind of shadow. So this our cyst is also observed. And also remember that these are not only found in South India. We have observed Kafikral in Kashmir, Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh, and also present tribes like Santhal, Gonds, they have this megalithic tradition. So again, this is an example of living tradition. So remember these points as well. Now dolmen, in it there will be a burial or dead body, and on both sides there will be large stones and a bigger stone that will cover it like this. So it will appear like a table. So this is also known as table form of megalithic. Now menhir, it shows this is burial and nearby it very large stone is standing. So it is a form of megalithic which is known as menhir. It is very simple and it consists of a single but a huge stone monolith planted on the ground as a rule or near the burial spot. It may be miniature in size or gigantic in height with its base fixed into the earth. So it is about menhir. Now many scholars have tried to classify the Indian megalithic based on its structural types. For example, V.D. Krishnaswamy, R.M. Wheeler and U.S. Murthy. You can use this scholar's name in beginning as well so that your answer will look more specific. This culture continues as a living tradition in northeast India, particularly in Manipur and also central Indian tribes which I have mentioned. And in northeast India, some scholars like Hemant Doff, they have described features of Neolithic tradition there. So that's all for today. Today we have discussed Iron Age as well as specifically megaliths. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture. Please like, share and subscribe to Ask IAS. Thank you.